Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers, to the very first episode of Audio Adventures, where our only destination is fantastic adventure. This is episode 1, book 19 of the Choose Your Own Adventure series, Secret of the Pyramids, by Richard Brightfield. I am your humble host and narrator, Caleb Heil, and since this is the first week, I'm going to explain how this podcast works. Each week I hope to have a listener like you play through a Choose Your Own Adventure book, and then bring that story to life in an exciting surround sound stereo. For those of you who don't know, Choose Your Own Adventure books and other game books like them aren't like regular books. These books allow the reader to choose certain decisions at certain points in the story, eventually leading them to choose their own ending. Sometimes for the good, but often, very often, the story the reader picks can have disastrous results. On the plus side, that means you, the listener at home, never quite know if the main character is going to make it out alive. If you'd like to play one of these books and have your choices turned into an episode of this podcast, head on over to patreon.com/p1 and make a small contribution. You might even have your voice in the podcast itself. Speaking of voices, I won't be doing all the acting. I'll be joined by some local voice actors, as well as some from across the nation thanks to time-space manipulation. All the way from California, it's the Laser Time crew. Laser Time crew, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Chris Antista.
Henry Gilbert.
And
Dave Rudden.
alright guys, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, great.
Good.
You can follow them and their amazing network of podcasts on lasertime.com or patreon.com/lasertime. Each week, we'll also take a moment to look at the cover of the book.
You guys ready to see the title for this week's book?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay.
And then
Well, what is it?
it's a Secret of the
No.
Pyramid.
Oh,
Whoa.
we were supposed to react to that?
Secret of the
Yeah, I mean,
Pyramid.
if you want.
Those,
Because
Okay,
these
let's-
covers look like NES game box art. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, at
I
least
wish
there's
there
a
was-
pyramid on the cover.
Dude,
Yeah.
it has pyramids, machine guns, snakes, and aliens.
I think I found Osama bin Laden.
Wow, that's a lot packed onto one cover.
That
yes.
looks like an NES game for sure.
Yeah.
Also, for our Player of the Week, I'd also like for everyone to do a warm-up request.
So, like, I don't know, like, if that's something, like, I would include every week, and then, like, you three try to take your shot at it. Like, if you
Oh, we
take
each
three
try
shots-
to imitate the. We're giving
Yeah,
an
or
imitation.
like,
I like that competition.
Yeah, so, like, Ed Wynn from Alice in Wonderland, if you want to. Did you see that link I sent you where they had the actual performance?
Yes.
Of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and a live performance of Ed
Yeah,
Wynn.
that's
is,
how,
wow.
how Disney snuck in their animation. They just filmed.
Ed Wynn, yeah.
But do you want to try to imitate Ed Wynn now? Is that the challenge before
Yeah,
us?
we'll do it. Let's go ahead and do
I
that.
can't remember how he sounded.
That sounds just like it, too.
Oh, God. Like, that's,
YT, I think I'll have some. Thank you.
jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
I can't quite remember this character you're talking about, but I
The
think
Mad
I
Hatter. The Mad Hatter.
Oh.
Exit stage left, even.
That's now
Okay.
we're full Snagglepuss.
Hey, Yo Yogi.
You're just talking about
talk to
Space
you.
Yogi.
I'm included in. I'm a tertiary character.
You're talking about Yogi's space race and the character Nugget Nose, who
my
the old
God.
prospector ghost.
Oh shucks! Oh.
Great.
You can vote on the Patreon page for the episode on who you think did the best impression. Well, now that all the formalities are out of the way, let's get to this week's episode, Secret of the Pyramids. You are relaxing one afternoon after school when you get a phone call from your Uncle Bruce, a brilliant scientist and world traveler.
Well, I'm just in from Egypt. I have some new equipment to continue my investigations of the pyramids. How would you like to go back with me for a few weeks?
You've always envied Bruce, dashing off to exotic places in the Middle East and the Orient, sometimes vanishing for months at a time. It doesn't take you long to make up your mind to go. The next few days are a blur of preparations. Before you know it, you and Bruce are on TWA jet heading for Rome and on the first leg of the trip to Cairo. On the plane, your uncle explains his plan to place special instruments in a chamber under the center of the largest pyramid at Giza. He hopes to test the pyramid's effect on the path of cosmic rays, rays made up of high-speed particles from space that usually penetrate deep into the ground.
If my theory is correct, these rays could be concentrated by the pyramid to produce an unlimited amount of energy.
While Bruce is talking, you notice that a man nearby is straining to hear him. No doubt he's just curious. He is strange looking though. In Rome, you change to an Egypt Air jet. You are startled to notice that the same man from the other jet is aboard this one too.
I will have lots of red tape to take care of at the airport when we land. Why don't you just breeze through the customs and take a cab to the Star and Crescent Hotel where we're staying? My assistant Andrea will be waiting there for you. She can get you settled in your room.
As soon as you land, Bruce is off to the baggage area, leaving you alone in a foreign land. As if that isn't enough, the stranger from the plane appears and hands you a small folded piece of paper, then dashes forward to the taxi stand outside the terminal. Quickly you unfold the note. Scrawled in red ink are the words, "Beware the Sphinx." You've heard about the statue of the Sphinx next to the pyramids. But why would you beware it? The thought occurs to you that Sphinx could be a code word and not refer to the actual Sphinx at all. Maybe the note is a meaningless hoax. On the other hand, it could spell danger for you and Bruce. You remember the time you felt an urge to get off a bus in your hometown, just before it was hit by a truck. Now you have a hunch that you should follow this man. You could try to follow him, or you could decide that it's wiser to go to your hotel. The strange man is already in a cab when you reach the stand in front of the terminal. You manage to jump into the next cab in line. Do you speak English?
I speak much English, bro.
Good, then follow that cab. Your cab weaves in and out of heavy traffic, with its horn blaring constantly. Your driver just barely misses one car after another. However, he does manage to keep less than a block behind the other car. The fast-moving traffic slows to a snail's pace when you get into an older section of the city. The cab you are following stops, and the strange man gets out. You hand your driver a couple of American bills, hoping they cover your fare. Fortunately, the driver seems more than pleased as you leave the cab.
Oh, thank you.
You can barely see through the thick crowd, but you do catch a glimpse of the man you are following. He is entering what looks like a cafe. You push your way over to the entrance. The rhythmic beat of Middle Eastern music hits your ears as you go inside. There is a heavy smell of incense. A belly dancer sways in the center of the dance floor. You find a table in the dim corner. You can't see the man you followed, but your eyes are still adjusting to the darkness. A waiter brings you a long-handled pot containing thick, strong coffee. He pours it ceremoniously into a small porcelain cup. It tastes somewhat bitter, but not too bad. You sip it slowly as you watch the dancing. Is it your imagination? Or does the dancer keep glancing in your direction? The music grows louder, the lights get brighter, and you can't seem to focus your eyes. Your arms and legs feel like lead, and you can't move them. You feel dizzy. You feel like you're passing out. You wake up to find yourself lying on an iron cot in a small storeroom. You sit up and try to move, and find that one ankle is chained to the bed. Gradually, your eyes become accustomed to the darkness. There's a small window high above you on the wall, and through it you can see a crescent moon shining. You can hear the beat of the music you heard in the cafe. You sit there in the half-darkness, trying to figure out how to pick the ancient-looking padlock that secures the chain on your ankle. The door to the room opens slightly, throwing a shaft of light inside. It's bright enough for you to recognize the dancer from the cafe. Quietly, she closes the door and whispers in your ear.
My name is Serena. I will help you.
She inserts a long, thin bar into the padlock on your ankle. The lock snaps open.
Here, quickly. Stand on my shoulders and climb out the window. It leads to a rooftop. I will pull myself up and follow.
You want to go with her, but you have no idea who this woman is and where she might be leading you. She could be getting you into a worse situation. You look at the window high up on the wall, and then at the open door in front of you. You could decide to accept Serena's help. Or, if you don't trust her, you could try to escape through the door. You pull open the door and dash down a corridor that leads back into the cafe. You run outside. 2 men from the cafe race after you, shouting in Arabic. You push open your way through the crowds and try to stay hidden. Which way to go? There's an open door on your right with a small courtyard inside. You decide to chance it and dart through the door, slamming it behind you. You lean against the door, gasping for breath. A hulk of a man appears. He has a heavy, dark beard and piercing eyes.
Welcome to my house. Have you come to buy a magic spell? Or perhaps something to ward off the evil eye?
I need help. Someone is after me.
In that case, you are welcome in my humble house. You are safe here. I am Aldin, the magician. My magic will protect you.
You follow Aldin up a flight of stairs into a room with a low table surrounded by cushions. He serves you some mint tea and tells you about the ancient magic he practices.
All is illusion. Here, I will show you. Close your eyes and repeat this spell 3 times. Abba ara ara abba bla ah.
You repeat Aldin's spell 3 times. Abra ara ara abra abba blah. Abra ara ara abra abba blah. The room begins to spin around you, then fades away altogether. You seem to be floating in a void. Are you asleep? Are you dreaming? You find yourself flying high up over the ocean on what could be a magic carpet. You awake in your living room, back home. The phone is ringing. You answer it.
Well, I'm just in from Egypt. I have some new equipment to continue my investigations of the pyramids. How would you like to go back with me for a few weeks?
This is really strange. Did you just dream everything that happened? Or did the magician really send you back here to start over? I'd really like to go, but I have a lot of work at school, and I already have tickets for a play at the end of the month. Thanks for asking, and have a good trip. Your excuse sounds a bit thin, but you've just gone through a harrowing experience. Even if you only dreamed it, you're not going through that again. Well, that's it for this week. Follow me online at patreon.com/p1 or find me on Twitter at KTHDream. If you like this story, be sure to visit your local library or visit ChooseCo, the owners of the Choose Your Own Adventure series, at CYOA.com. And if you'd like to help out, please leave a 5-star rating on iTunes. Tune in next week, where we'll be taking a detour to Deadwood City.